I want to share this for CEOs as well as HR teams who are struggling right now to try and find a CMO. And I think it's important to know this information so that as you start putting together the right job description, you're really hiring for what exactly the business needs. Companies are not struggling to find great CMOs. They're actually struggling because the role that they're hiring for no longer works. Here's the pattern that I'm seeing. Growth slows down, the pipeline starts to feel inconsistent, and when the board starts asking questions, the immediate next step is let's go hire for a CMO. The problem is that you'll end up writing a job description where that person owns brand, demand, pipeline, reporting, and strategy. That's not hiring for a CMO, that's actually hiring for a catch-all broken system. And you're not going to see the results that you want. You'll end up unhappy, so will they. And 18 to 24 months later, everyone will part ways and it won't be a good situation. Instead, here's the new piece that I'd like you to be thinking about. Growth is not breaking at the marketing level anymore. Here's why. Execution is cheaper than it's ever been with AI. I know boards everywhere are already insisting that CMOs are looking at this, and CMOs everywhere that I know are making sure that they have execution taken care of through AI. So it's not so much, hey, can we go faster and can we do things at a lower price? It's the integration. What actually is missing is a system that connects what marketing is doing and what sales is closing to what the business actually needs. Now, a lot of times companies will say, well, sure, of course, we know that. Marketing and sales have always been a little bit at odds. It's just a silo issue. If we can break down that silo or we can hire for a chief revenue officer or a chief growth officer, that'll go away. But it won't. Because if you're thinking about it that way, you're thinking about it at the execution layer, and that's actually not the issue that I want to talk about. The issue that I want to talk about is the trap that comes in when a CMO steps in to optimize something that doesn't have visibility. In other words, how decisions are made across the company isn't being fixed. And that's usually what prevents companies from seeing success with the CMO role and what prevents CMOs from seeing success. Because when growth is no longer a marketing problem and it's no longer a talent problem, it actually becomes a decision system problem. You're talking about marketing that touches every single aspect of the consumer journey. Think about it. Awareness, intent, consideration, purchase, and advocacy. Those are all touched by marketing. And I basically just described your entire company to you. So you bring somebody into a marketing role and you give them one or two of the things, but not access to all five of the things, that person's going to fail. But it's also not fair to give all five of those things to that person because, again, they'd fail just by overwhelm of trying to do everything. So the way that you win is you can't rely on just one person to own growth. The same way that you have systems in place for how you hire someone, the same way that you have systems in place for how your business runs, that's what you need in terms of growth. You need a growth system where you decide where to focus, how you can move budget quickly, and how to kill a project that isn't working. And AI can be used to execute all of that. That's the shift. So it's no longer about hiring a CMO to manage marketing. It's having a system that runs growth understood by every department who touches it. The role of marketing and CMO hasn't failed. The environment has changed, and we can't continue to operate and hire CMOs the same way that we did in 2018. It doesn't work anymore. Growth moved on, and to be successful, your business needs to put in that layer as well. That's how you actually get growth in the future. And that's where I see massive opportunity for you to be able to really build your business from the ground up. I hope that's helpful, and I hope you have a great day.